Why does the government hide this? Well, so we all believe, most people believe in extraterrestrials.
Right.
Most people, so what are they afraid of?
We're living in a different world now. Since December of 2017 with Commander David Fravor, the Tic Tac UFO case, which I broke before the New York Times. I reported on that twice. That case opened the door, so we now know the government did not stop studying UFOs in 1969. There's a program called ATIP. That program is now acknowledged. So what are they afraid of? I think they're afraid of weaponization. I think that's the issue here. And also, you're right, we're not alone in the universe, but are they visiting here? And that's the question that they've been unwilling.
Well, I always said it's, why don't they just release information that these events occurred and they can keep the technology secret? That I've never understood, so I'm with you on that.
What are you going to tell us?
Just what I did, the existence of the project.
All right. Why are they so afraid of that?
I don't, you'd have to ask them that.
Why do you think, Jim? What are they afraid of?
You know, I don't really know. I think that it's a big concept, Larry. It's a big concept that we're not alone and that we're being visited. And in 1989, that's explosive. To this day, we're in a different world. I do believe that. What has come out by the Pentagon, the videos by Commander Fravor, that they admitted there are unknown aerial objects of advanced technology that are fly with impunity in our airspace. It is now admitted by our government. If people don't know that, they now need to know that. We're in a different world. I'm very optimistic.
Why do you think these people who can build these superior things haven't come here?
But they have come here.
I know, but they landed in Billings, Montana. Why don't they come to New York?
Right. So they do go. They do come to New York. There's a mass phenomenon that has been going on since the beginning of recorded human history, where these things engage human beings on multitudes of levels, from lights in the skies, which is the most famous part, to close encounters. So my argument is, they have made themselves clearly available. You know, they haven't come on your show yet, Larry, but let's get that to happen.
Half of Americans believe in UFOs, right?
More than
That's
half,
what I
probably,
hear, yeah.
And that's based on what?
I mean, for me, it was 1989 and Bob Lazar telling his story. That's what weaponized my curiosity about it.
Have you ever seen one?
I have never seen something that I can definitively say is a flying saucer. I have seen incredible light shows in the sky.
Is the government watching you, Bob?
I didn't think they were after 30 years, but you know, due to recent events, I would probably change.
What happened?
Jeremy and I had a private conversation out in a remote area of my property. Cell phones in our pockets, but turned off.
All filmed.
And filming it. And Jeremy was down there to film some of this documentary. He left the following morning, and simultaneously there was an FBI raid at my place of
raid?
business. Yeah.
Looking for what?
Well, they said they were looking for some receipts from an individual that might have bought some toxic material from a company. But they came with more people than you could really think would even fit in our building. I mean, agency after agency, you know, computer experts pulling information off the computers. And
what do you think they were there for?
Well, what do you think, Jeremy?
They were able to repeat back verbatim a portion of the conversation that we thought was private, and that shocked us because we were joking that nobody even cared 30 years later what he says. But apparently it's not as it appears. There were 25, 27 forensic agents with a truck there for paperwork. I don't know. We don't really care. We just know now that our conversations are not private.
Well, what, FBI, what about this as a crime?
They're looking for some of the fuel from the craft that might have been stolen.
Element 115 was always something Bob said fueled the craft, a stable version. And to be direct, which Bob is being direct right now, they were looking to see if he had any of that taken out of Los Alamos where they machined it, which he did say back in 1989 or so that he did get some out to do tests on.
What's element 115?
Element 115 is a super heavy element. It's something that we only just recently synthesized. We only made 4 atoms of it. But the craft uses larger quantities of it, 223-gram little triangles of it. But it's a unique element. When it's exposed to radiation, it produces its own gravitational field, its own anti-gravitational field, and it's what's used to lift and propel the craft and create distortions around it. It's an amazing material, and it's certainly nothing that occurs here or naturally.
And it can be weaponized, and that's kind of the issue here. If this story is all true, that can be weaponized.
Absolutely.